the schematic. Hell yeah. Tired of the bow already. Take this stupid bow and stick it somewhere where the sun don't shine, then turn it a little bit to the left. Oh, Kevin Smith! Kevin Smith. Okay. I'll stop talking about my butt turning Isaac, whatever. Kevin Smith is like, he's like your dirty, funny friend made a movie. And it's as bad as you'd expect that to be. Like, he's not, like, Kevin Smith. Okay, Kevin Smith, don't hate me. You're not a good, he's not a good filmmaker. Like, Kevin Smith is not a good filmmaker. He's a really bad one. But he's bad in the best way possible. Like, he's so funny and irreverent, and yeah, he has no visual style. I've heard it before. Everybody's like, Kevin Smith, he has no visual style. And I'm like, whatever. You know what? I don't watch Kevin Smith movies for the freaking visual. I don't want to be. I'm not watching a Terrence Malick film here. Get your stupid minds out of the heights of Terrence Malick and get him into Kevin Smith. I just want to hear some dirty comments.
Kevin Smith. He's seen Clerks.
Yeah. You know what? Give me some dirty comments. Okay, a little bit of dirty comments. Oh, I need some more stone. Chasing Amy's the one with the lesbians. It's how I know that women like fisting.
But not Amy. Like, not lesbians. I mean,
Yeah, she's a lesbian.
he totally confirms her.
Yeah, well, that's the dream of every guy. It's not my dream because I've been around lesbians, and let me tell you, not the same. It's not that they're butch. They're just really not interested.
I'm more like Silent Bob. I totally knew that.
You know, you're like Silent Bob. You're super quiet, and you sit there and just scowl at people, and they run away. Well done, sir. Okay, there is only one character who could possibly be like me, and he is Randall. I am the Randall of all of these people's lives. I am the man who actually worked.
Randall.
Can somebody slap my sister? Who is Randall? I ask you.
Dirt on this comment.
Oh, Randall? Affleck converts. Oh no. Yeah, well, okay. So like Randall is the guy who's laying on the video store counter, okay? And that woman comes in and she's like, well, what movie is this? And she whips the other one out from behind her back. And she's like, oh, well, this is the same movie. And then he's like, I do not enjoy your ruse, ma'am, because I'll tell you, I worked for a company in customer service, and there were people who went red-faced, and the redder they went, the more happy I was. Oh, God, I used to burn people, and with a big smile on my face, they get the burn. They were always like, there was one lady who, like, melted down and screamed, "You know who I am." Like, she literally screamed it at the top of her lungs. Like, she was, like, it was, the way other girls scream at horror movies, she let out this bleat of terror. She shrieked, "Do you know who I am?" And she was waving around her arms. And I was like, "I don't know who you are." And I waved back at her. And she just flipped, man. She was like, "I'm going to phone anybody you're losing your job." And I was like, good luck on that, because I haven't swore at you, insulted you, or given you wrong advice. So bite me, lady. I could say I don't know who you are. Anyway, so she went off red-faced, and some other guy was snickering behind her. He's got like the big old snicker face on. And she's like, "Do you know?" And he's like, "Do you really know who that lady is?" And I was like, "I got no idea. She's just asking me." She just wanted to know. She was like, "Do you know who I am?" And I was like, "Frick no, woman." So get your freaking like butthurt self out of my face. Anyway, and the whole thing was about hockey sticks, right? She was all burnt about hockey sticks. So I was sitting there. Okay, so the whole story behind it, and you need to hear the whole story of this. So this woman comes tearing up with her kid, right? Kid hops out and brings up like this boatload of freaking hockey sticks up to me. And like, so he's a kid, right? So I'm nice to kids, right? Whatever. You know, kids get a pass with me. So I'm like, sorry, sir, sorry, young man, you got to go across the street because, you know, we're recycling. You want the dump, right? And so he takes the hockey sticks back to the car and he puts them back in the car and he's like, oh, they don't take this. And the woman gets out and she's like dressed to the nines. She's got her power suit on and she grabs him out of her back seat all like butthurt about it. She's like, nah, nobody says no to me. You know, I am the version of a female rapist. I just do it in other ways. Anyway, so she gets all butthurt and she's like, I'm coming up here. And she throws them on the counter and she's like, okay, you're taking these. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not. We don't take those here. And she's like, no, I don't mean that you take them here. I mean, you're taking these. And I was like, no, I'm really not. And she was like, well, what if I leave them on the counter? And I said, well, I'll pick them up and put them back in your car. And she was like, you can't touch my car. And I was like, I'm not touching your car. But anyway, it was a long conversation about that. That went on for a while. Anyway, so eventually she got to the point where she was telling me if I touched her car, she was going to sue me. She's like, I'll sue you if you touch my car. And I was like, so you're going to sue me for like this. And so I picked up her hockey sticks and I walk around the counter at her, right? And she's like, oh boy, now it's on, buddy. And she's like, don't you dare go next to my car. And so I walked a couple of steps at her. Like I just did like a stutter step at her just to give her a good like shrieky scare. And she was like, don't! And I was like, okay, yeah, calm down, woman. Calm down. I'm just freaking with you here. You got to take her easy, girl. You got to back off a little bit. Anyway, so she's out there, right? And so eventually she's just like, I can't believe you've done this to me. And I'm like thinking, what did I exactly do to this woman? You know, what exactly was it that she figures I was doing? Anyway, and so I was like, okay. And I was like, you still gotta. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, totally. Whatever I did to you, whatever. And I was like, so she started turning. I was like, ma'am, you're forgetting your hockey sticks. And she fucking flaked, man. Oh, man. I shouldn't have said it because she went off. Like off as in like off her rocker. Like just screaming, flailing arms. Like a peevish look in her eye and just like, oh, she was butthurt to the 9th level. So anyway, so eventually she gets done this tirade. And the tirade was like long. It involved Walmart. Like, I don't know how Walmart got into this. Anyway, she had like some comment about Walmart. You know what? I get this at Walmart all the time. You know, like people don't take back my stuff or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. They probably should since you paid for it. And she's like, well, why can't I leave this here? And I was like, 'cause we don't take it and it's a free service. Anyway, so she was screaming along there and flailing her arms around. And I was like, you know what, girl? You know what? I was like, you know what, girl? Now's the time. And I did. I called her girl because I call all women girl when they flake out. And I was like, you know what, girl? You got to calm down. And that was it. And she was just like, she screamed, do you know who I am? Just at the top of her lungs. People 5 miles away could have heard her. Do you know who I am? And I was just like, no, I don't know who you are. Like, go somewhere else with your weird comments, woman. Anyway, so that was it. And then she stormed away. She did take her hockey sticks, though. She did, and she phoned up the city. She phoned up the city because I got a phone call from the city being like, why didn't you take so-and-so's hockey sticks? And I was like, whose hockey sticks? Like, who are you talking about? And there was this lady here, you know, and they gave her a name. And I was like, oh, she wanted to drop off hockey sticks. I mean, we're a recycling plant. We don't recycle hockey sticks, right? So she was just like, so he was like, okay, fair enough, right? But you're going to hear back from her because she's trying to get you fired. And I just laughed at him. I was like, I didn't say anything to her. Whatever, guy. You know, try and get me fired. I was like, You actually want like a lawsuit, right? Try and fire somebody for doing nothing, then you got a lawsuit on your hands. Like, like you know, everything else will work out for you, but you get, man, an employee, you fire an employee for the wrong reason. Oh boy, then it gets ugly. Like that's when things get ugly for you. Everything else is like whatever. You know, that's when you get like the butthurt lawsuits. Anyway, so she was butthurt. She came in about a year later, right? I meet her, and she's like,
You mean you never heard
no, I didn't hear from her for like a year, right? And then this woman stepped up to the counter and was like, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, you know, I told her I get like 1,000 people through a day. I'm like, I'm lucky if I can remember the guy who came in the morning. I mean, there's like 1,000 people come through here, woman. Like,
series did you
yeah, she can't. I didn't remember, and she was like, no, she was still in a power suit, and you know, it's like a year later, and she was like, I had the hockey sticks, and I got like this look on my face, like I'm like, hockey sticks? Who had hockey sticks? Like I'm trying to remember hockey sticks, right? And then she's like, remember, you wouldn't take my hockey sticks, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's you! Oh my god. And she was like, I phoned the city, and you know what? I'm surprised to still see you working here. And I was like, well, you know, like, get used to it, girl. Life is full of surprises.